What's up everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I make leverage decisions, my decision-making process, because I feel that this is one of the areas where most online entrepreneurs fall short. And even though they believe they need clients, they need appointments, they need a better product or better offer, actually what they need is better decision-making skills. And in order for you to have better decision-making skills, you need to know in which direction to point when it comes to making a decision. So before we dive into that, for those that don't know me, my name is Denis Rhomays. I'm the owner and founder of AlphaTrain.io. We are a growth and consulting business, and pretty much what we do is we help online agencies, coaches, and consultants solve client acquisition. We do that by helping them get more clients, get those clients amazing results, and of course, make a lot of money along the way. Now, let's dive into it. So the reason why I'm bringing this up today is because I've seen this countless of times where, for example, if you are in a position, if you're a business owner, or if you're in a sales-driven business, you've probably seen this before as well. When people come to a sales call and they say, I need to think about it, right? It's not that they need to think about it. It's just they are indecisive. So they don't know in which direction they should go. And usually the reason is because they don't know what is their purpose, what is their why, and what process to use to weigh out their options, right? They have someone on the other side telling them, hey, this is the best option for you. And they might admit, yeah, that sounds cool, but they are not 100% sure where they want to go. And this applies both on a personal level and on a business level. Now, I want to show you exactly how to look at leverage and what are the four main types of leverage that I use, the framework that I use, so they can use it as well. So let's start by defining first what is leverage, right? So if we define leverage and we think about it like as a lever, right? So let's draw something here like this, okay? This should be straight, you get the point. And we have here, in this point, you see that this is a balance out. We have here a stick and we have a triangle. And if you put something here, let's say that you put a weight, right? Let's say that this weight is your point B. And your point B might be making more money, right? Now what happens is that you are only one, and leverage happens when you grab. So for example, if you grab, this doesn't look like a human arm, but anyways, if you grab the lever here, right? If this is too heavy, it will be super difficult for you to pull the whole weight, right? So what do you need to do? You might need more men, but in this case, you are the only one making the decision here. So what we need to do is one, grab the lever as far as we can, right? So let me actually delete this guy's arm here. Let me do it like this. And what you need to do is actually, let me draw another one here. Instead of this one, you want to grab the lever here. And what does it mean? It means that you have more force, you have more power to pull. And to do that, you need to know where to grab, right? And usually I define leverage as output per unit of time. The more things that can be done, this can also be seen as productivity, like output per unit of time, but I see it more usually on what are the outcomes that you get per unit of time or per unit of input. Like example, if you have one input and if you have one output, you have no leverage. That's an unleveraged activity. Those are things that you hire, for example, VAs for, repetitive tasks that cannot be automated. Now, for example, if you have one input and you have multiple outputs, right? Let's say you have three, you do it once and you have three things that come on the other side, you have leverage. Now, leverage is not something binary. It's like, oh, do I have leverage or do I not have leverage? It's more like, to what extent or how much leverage do I have? And this applies both in business and on your personal life. And let me walk you through actually on how that looks like when it comes to the four types of leverage. Okay. So let's talk about business here for a second. So in business, what happens is that we have around, there's one thing that, I don't know if you know who Naval Ravikant is. someone that I really look up to. He's an amazing angel investor. He knows one or two things when it comes to leverage. And actually, I'm actually stealing this process from him. But he uses this when it comes to building a product. Okay. He sees like there are 4 main types of leverage. And the first one is labor. Okay. And labor, everyone understands it. Let's say you have a competitor, right? And you have a team member and they don't, right? So 2 people working towards the same direction will get you a lot quicker to your point B than having someone doing everything themselves, right? In theory. So everyone understands this one. And at the end of the day, this is one type of leverage that you can have. And it's, again, it's not do you have it or not. You're like, just as an individual, you are labor in your own business. But if you can have more employees and better employees or better team members, that will get you compared with your competitors. So what do you do on what is the second type of leverage? Capital. And with capital, usually this is also well known. This is when you use money to make more money, right? So how can you leverage capital? One, you can invest in the S&P 500. You can invest in, of course, in stocks, real estate, but also with capital, you can buy labor. You can buy access. As long as you have capital, you have leverage. And most people understand that. That's why they say, most people complain, oh, I'm poor, so that's why I can't build a business. No, you're poor because you made poor decisions. So, and by the way, that's because that's the life that you chose. Now, on the top end of the pyramid, it's the 2 that have infinite amount of returns. And that's media, okay, and code. So, and what happens here is that when it comes to media, super easy to understand. If you embed media in a product or media by itself, think about a YouTube video. Think about this video. Virtually, there's no cap when it comes to the amount of people that can actually see this, right? So as long as there are people that want to watch it, there are infinite amount of time that this can be seen. Now, on the other side, a sales call, for example, a one-on-one sales call, a one-on-one onboarding call, it's a non-leveraged activity. You need to do it over and over and over and over again. But the thing here is that, unfortunately, or fortunately, that's an unleveraged activity that you can't replace on most businesses. They depend on that conversation. They depend on that energy that is exchanged between the prospect and the business, right? They need that extra information. They need to have that extra bit. So when it comes to this, when it comes to media, you understand what it is, right? Think about content. When it comes to code, this is a little bit more tricky. It's easy to understand when it's embedded in a product, right? For example, a SaaS product, a software, you build it once, right? And let's say that we don't count in all the updates, all that stuff, but you build it once and there's a marginal cost of each and every single new user that you sign up, right? That's why Facebook can be for free and they capitalize through adverts. That's why most social platforms are for free. That's why most content is for free. That's why YouTube is for free. Because users don't cost them money. Almost don't cost them money. So they have infinite returns. So what they need is something else to propel the business forward when it comes to acquisition. Now, why am I bringing this up? Simple reason. While Naval Ravikant used this, or when it comes to building product, or when it comes to come up with ideas to product development and increasing the value of a product, as I said, like if you have an amazing product, you don't need to sell and you don't need to market. So I use these same types of leverage when it comes to making decisions. And how so? Let's say that I'm confronted with a business decision, right? Let's say that I want to buy access to a program that will help me go from point A to point B, right? This will help me get from here to here. Let's say that I want to, I don't know, let's say that I'm starting out, I have 0K in my bank account. I want to go all the way to 10K a month, right? We have a lot of clients that we help doing this transition. Now, there are a couple of things along the way that I need to understand and learn. And now I can pay in two ways, time or money. So let's say that this costs, I don't know, 20 grand, right? So what happens now is, how will I make a decision here? How will I know this is the best decision for me? Why not just keep window shopping? Why not just like keep going from competitor to competitor to alternative until I come to a point where, okay, now I know I have all this information, but I will still not make a decision. Because what happens, like, I need to know what my point B is and what my point C is, so that I know, okay, this is an inevitable goal or milestone or roadblock that I need to solve before I get to the next point, right? If I don't know what's the point C, because a lot of people just focus on point A and B. They say, I need more clients. What is clients? 2 clients, 3 clients, 5 clients. I want to make more money. How much money? Why do you need to make money? Right? I want to launch ads. Why do you want to launch ads? What type of ads? What's the reason behind it? So what I'm trying to paint here is, if you don't know where you're heading, if you don't have short, medium, and long-term goals written down, they can look up and you know exactly where you are going, it will be so hard for you to make a decision. You will always be faced with that endless or that traditional, I need to think about it. You will need to think about it. Why? Because you don't know where you want to go. You can have the perfect solution in front of you and you will not be able to know it. So this is one thing, right? Which is goals. Having goals in place. Now, I mentioned that I would show you how I make decisions. So first one, I need to know my goals. Exactly what are my goals? Not like I kind of want my money, I want to be a millionaire. No, what exactly? Why? You need to have a roadmap. Number 2, before I'm making a decision, I always ask myself, what am I buying? Labor, capital, code, or media? I try to use these buckets for product development, but also for decisions. How? Let's say that I'm in point A. Let's say I'm starting out my business, and I know that I want to go to 10K per month. So that's the first stepping stone to getting to 25K a month. So, and I need that to build the business and create an impact on at least 1 million lives. So if I know that, I know that, okay, if this costs me 20 grand, first off, what am I buying with this? I'm buying access. I'm buying time back. I'm buying a proven process, probably. So I'm using capital to buy access, okay? Which is just another form of capital, because it's time. Time is money. If you buy access and you get time back, you're making money. And I'm buying capital. So I'm buying 10K. I'm buying 10K. I just need to follow the proven process. So, and this is usually what we do when it comes to, or what I do when it comes to making a decision. Now, let's say that I'm buying a new software platform. I might think, okay, why do I need this? This is code. A new software platform is code. Let's say I want to increase my subscription on Zapier and I need to have more tasks automated. Depending on the price, it might be worth it or not. One good example is, let's say I have a task that takes me 5 minutes per week. That means that it takes me 20 minutes a month, which is around 240 minutes a year. Is it worth it for me to spend 1 hour plus paying 1 hour building the Zap plus the extra amount of dollars that it might cost me? Usually for small tasks, no. For bigger tasks that happen over and over and over again, absolutely. So I'm always looking on the same eyes. Am I buying media? Am I buying capital? Am I buying labor? Am I paying, for example, I have a new team member and he asked me, the wage will be, for example, 3K or 6K. Like, what am I buying with that labor? Will that labor be competitive? Will it buy me a competitive advantage amongst my peers? Probably, depending on the type of talent that I'm buying. So this is what I use when it comes to making decisions. So I need to have a very clear goal in mind. And secondly, knowing exactly what I am buying. Am I buying capital, labor, media, or code? If I'm buying one of these when it comes to business, I'm cool with it as long as it makes sense and the price tag is reasonable, right? I need to see at least a 2x return for me to move forward with something. So this is what when it comes to the 4 types of leverage, right? So let me just do it here. Okay, now personally, when it comes to your personal life, so personal, how do I do this? Personal, I also have goals. I have personal goals. There are a couple of things I have lined up in my life that I know that I want to achieve, right? Whether that's with relationships, whether that it's with finances, whether that it's with hobbies, you name it, right? So what happens here is I have all these goals, and I know that some are short term. I know that others are medium term and others are long term. So when I look at it, like the price I'm willing to pay, it depends on the longevity. How quick will I get the results? For example, when I'm making a personal investment, let's say I'm investing in real estate. Financially, that might give me a hit. I can do it on business and also personally. Let me give you a different example, because real estate, you might think, okay, it's another business decision. Let's say that I'm assessing if I should buy a new car. Example. What is it buying me, right? If on my personal goals, for example, let's say that I have status on my goals. I want to achieve a higher level of status. So what happens here is like short-term goal, yes, will give me, depending on the car, of course. And when it comes to will it serve me, like again, status, there's nothing wrong, right or wrong with it. It depends on what your goals are. There's nothing wrong. Like there are some people that want to drive Lambos. There are some people that want to show off that they are rich and they are spending some money on villas. Like that's cool. If that's your goal, there's nothing wrong with it. But as long as it serves a purpose, right? For example, let's say I'm buying a car and I will use, or better, I buy a car and I rent a couple of villas, right? Just for the most enthusiastics. Short term will buy me status. How? I can record content, right? I can build on long term my personal brand, if that's something that you're looking for. I'm not saying that it is. Again, for some it is. Some people like to be low key. Usually I'm a little bit more low key myself. Some people like to show everything off. Whoever you are, there's nothing wrong with it. But you need to know what you're buying. If you're just buying it for the sake of it, just to show off to your friends, like for God's sake, right? You're just losing money. But usually what people don't see is like, as long as you have a clear goal and you have a process. For example, what is this? If I'm buying a car, I'm also investing in media, right? I'm investing in the personal brand. I'm investing in a hobby. Let's say that I like to go to the racing track, right? So all in all, the biggest problem that I see when it comes to making decisions is you might believe that not making a decision it's okay. But no, actually, when you don't make a decision, that's the worst decision of them all. I don't care if you say a yes or a no, but if you say nothing, you are also making a decision. That is a decision. And you might think, how come? Imagine that you are on a train, okay? You are the only person on that train. And there's another train coming in your direction, right? Now, 100 meters in front of you, and by the way, this is a terrible analogy, but stay with me. 100 meters or 100, let's say with meters, 100 meters in front of you, you have a person. You will kill it. But you have an option. You can pull the lever to stop the train, and it's set. Like at this point, you might kill that person because she's right in the middle of the track. But if you don't pull that lever, you will for sure put yourself in a train wreck, an accident towards the other train that's coming to your direction. You might kill hundreds. You don't know how many people there is. So here's the question. If you don't make a decision here, what's the worst? Is it worse to say, yes, I will pull the lever, I will kill one person? By the way, this is again, the worst analogy I could use, but you get the point. Should I make that decision, or should I just keep things going, or should I just raise my hand and say, I'm not making a decision? Right? So you get the point. Besides this awful analogy, usually you don't make a decision. Instead of killing one person, you kill everyone and yourself. By pulling the lever, you might only harm one person, or she might even get unharmed away out of the track. And still, but there are risks with it. And if you are willingly going forward, you are just a maniac or psycho. But on a sales call environment, if you are confronted, if you know your goals, if you know where you're heading, if you have a decision-making process, don't say, I need to think about it. That's the worst decision. You'll get more confused. What happens is then you will be on a buying state and you will make a decision whether you want it or not. You will make a decision, but usually it's the dumbest one. So again, the reason why I brought this up today is because we had someone on a call with our head of sales, and it was actually interesting to see in the sense that that person actually said it. I'm ready to move. I know that this is the best move for me. I need to move forward. I can't explain it, but I can't make a decision. Do you have the money? Yes. Do you want to do it? Yes. You feel this will help you out? Absolutely. So where do you want to go from here? I need to think about it. Is there anything that we didn't cover? No. So, and this is something that you will come across if you're on the sales field a lot and super often. But I'm here to tell you that I'm not here as a salesman. I'm not here as a business owner. I'm here as an individual. And I'm telling you from my own experience, if you don't make a decision, that's 9 out of 10, the worst decision of them all. Okay, so really appreciate you hanging with me for all this time. And by the way, if you want to join our free community, link in the description. If you want to know a little bit more about the Alpha Acquisition Program, also link in the description. If you like this video, smash that like button. That really helps me out. And I see you on the next one. Bye-bye.